The true American dream, our American dream. If you ask most people around the world what the word American dream means to them, our hearts go twisted when you realize that almost everyone answers with some version of upward social mobility. I mean, a variety of fun and realistic answers. Some cite the American success story or the self-made man, rarely the self-made woman. Some speak of a free country that gives every hardworking person a life to succeed. Perhaps they are drawn to a symbolic house with a white picket fence that suggests financial self-sufficiency and security. Many associate the phrase with the immigrant country of opportunity. However, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, the American dream is the idea that every American citizen should have equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work, dedication, and initiative. This is what the American dream means to technocrats, educators, and literates. But does attainable really mean it? Or is there more to the term American dream than we've previously been led to believe? The American dream is the belief that anyone, no matter where they are born or what class they are born into, can achieve their own version of success in a society where upward mobility is possible for all. It is believed that the American dream is achieved through sacrifice, risk, and hard work, not by chance. Understanding the American dream. The term was coined by author and historian James Truslow Adams in 1931 in his best-selling book, Epic of America. He described it as a dream of a country where everyone's life is better, richer, and more fulfilling, and everyone has an opportunity according to ability or achievement. Adams went on to explain, the upper classes of Europe find it difficult to adequately interpret this dream, and too many of us, ourselves, are tired and suspicious of it. It is not only a dream of cars and high wages, but a dream of social order, in that every man and woman is capable of maturing, what they are innately capable of, and of being recognized by others for what they are, regardless of the accidental circumstances of birth or position. The idea of the American dream has much deeper roots. Its principles are contained in the Declaration of Independence, which says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, which are life, liberty, and freedom, the pursuit of happiness." In a society based on these principles, the individual can live his life to the fullest in the way it defines. America also grew largely as a nation of immigrants, creating a nation where to become an American and pass that citizenship to one's children did not require being an American child. No matter how often we talk about the American dream as a socio-economic promise of material success, the truth is that most people, even people around the world, instinctively understand that the American dream is also socio-political, meaning something deeper and more aspirational than simple material comfort. And indeed, that's what the phrase meant to the Americans who first popularized it. A story behind American dreams. In 1931, historian James Truslow Adams began to understand the crisis of the Great Depression, which, in 1931, was both an economic crisis and a looming political crisis. Authoritarianism was on the rise in Europe, and many Americans worried that similar despotic energies were supporting the fabled man on the horse, who might become America's tyrant. Adams concluded that America had lost its way by valuing material success above all other values. It considered money as value, rather than simply a means of producing or measuring value. This denial is crucial, but it is almost always overlooked when this famous passage is quoted. Adams is particularly opposed to the idea that the American dream is material success. The American dream, according to Adams, was about a collective moral character. It was a vision of a common well-being, a well-being that is seen as shared and therefore mutually supported. It was, as Adam said, a dream of a social order, where every citizen could achieve the best he could. And this dream of social order came under such a crushing attack on January 6th. It was the same American dream that Martin Luther King Jr. called into service in the civil rights struggle in 1963, when he told white America that Black Americans shared that dream. I still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise and will live the true meaning of their faith. We take these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day 4 little children will live in a country where they are judged not by the color of their skin, but according to the content of his character. Martin Luther King later cited his version of the American dream. The true ideology. The idea of an American faith, now forgotten, was once a staple of American political discourse, a broad belief system that embraced freedom, democratic equality, social justice, economic opportunity, and individual success. The foundation on which America as a nation is built reads as follows: I believe in the United States of America, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers come from the consent of the governed. Democracy in a republic and the sovereign people of many sovereign nations. A perfect union, one and inseparable, founded on the principles of liberty, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. This belief first used the term American Dream, not in 1931 when it was popularized, but when it first appeared in American political discourse at the beginning of the 20th century. In 1900, the New York Post warned its readers that the greatest danger to every republic is not so-called indignation, but satisfied multimillionaires. It argued that all the previous republics were overthrown by the rich, and thus could be the case in America, where monopoly capitalists moved the Constitution without the reproach of the administrative or public opinion. If they had their way, it would be the end of the American dream, because the American dream was about democracy, equal opportunity and justice for all. Again, most Americans today would clearly say that becoming a multimillionaire defines the American dream. But the fact is that the term was coined to criticize, not support, the accumulation of great personal wealth. This is the American dream, what democracy can achieve in its own name for the benefit of its citizens. The first voices who spoke of the American dream did not use it as a promise or a guarantee, but as a call to all Americans to do better, to be fairer, to continue striving for the Republic of Equals. The dream of a social order defined by the American faith, a belief in the United States as a government whose just powers derive from the consent of the governed, democracy in a republic. Calling it dreams also implies that these ideals may not be what many real Americans and those who hope to become are living their lives. The criticism that the American dream lacks reality is at least as old as the idea itself. As income inequality has increased significantly since the 1970s, the American dream has begun to seem less attainable to those who are not already wealthy or born into it. According to family incomes from the U.S. Census, real family income in the highest income groups began to grow much more than among other segments of American society. However, these realities do not diminish the brilliance of the American dream as an ideal and beacon for all nations. The American dream promises freedom and equality. The ideals of the American dream are motivating, including the freedom to manage your own life. The reality of the American dream often falls short of the idea itself. As income inequality grew, the American dream seemed less attainable. How to measure the American dream. Today, Home ownership is often cited as an example of achieving the American dream. It is a symbol of financial success and independence, and it means being able to manage your own home instead of being subject to the whims of a landlord. Owning a business and being your own boss is also the fulfillment of the American dream. In addition, access to education and healthcare is mentioned as part of the dream. Home ownership has steadily increased over time in the United States, reflecting the centrality of owning real estate as a marker of achieving the American dream. For example, the home ownership rate was 65.8% at the end of 2020, which is 0.7% higher than last year. Entrepreneurship has always been important to the American economy as well. Small businesses alone created 1.6 million net jobs in 2019. Owning real estate, owning your own business, and creating your own life are all parts of the American dream. And as a first world country, the United States also offers the advantage of pursuing these passions without having to worry on the basics how to get good education and healthcare. The American dream has always been associated with the possibility of success. But 100 years ago, the phrase meant the opposite of what it means today. The original American dream was not a dream of individual wealth. It was the people's dream of equality, justice, and democracy that was used at the beginning of the 20th century. The phrase was reused every generation until the Cold War, when it became an argument for a consumerist, capitalist version of democracy. Our ideas about the American dream were frozen in the 1950s. Nowadays, it doesn't occur to anyone that it could mean something else. Whether the American dream is still achievable and what that achievement entails has been widely discussed. Indeed, many people today wonder if they can keep up with housing costs and loan interest payments to buy homes and cars. In addition, Americans need to save for their retirement and pay large out-of-pocket costs for healthcare, and higher education can leave families with high interest debt that is difficult to recover from. Yet many Americans won't and have not stopped having their American dreams, as even yearly America has welcomed or opened its doors for migrants who had come looking and seeking for the same American dream till this very moment. Over time, the American dream changed from an atmosphere of equality and solidarity to an individualistic race fueled by materialistic consumption. In the 1990s and early 2000s, the mortgage company Fannie Mae began promoting the notion that buying a home was a cornerstone of the American dream, using the term prominently in mortgage sales ads. Conclusion: the concept of the American dream remains one of the most uniquely American ideals. The ultimate idea that every person should be able to realize their dreams and build the life they want if they work hard. That motivating force influences the economy through entrepreneurship and individual ambition, and provides a romantic image for anyone trying to succeed in America, be it an American or a migrant. While the definition of the American dream has changed to mean different things to different generations, it is undoubtedly part of the American ethos and always will be. See you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed the video.